What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe, No Days Off DFS, here to bring you that 5-game NBA slate breakdown for today. Decent sized slate after having 6 yesterday, 5. This is kind of the sweet spot I've always talked about whenever it comes down to betting on the NBA, trying to do DFS lines and things like that. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. If you're living on the East Coast, hopefully you guys are preparing for the inclement weather that they're saying that we're going to get. And yeah, let's go ahead. Let's try to rock and roll and have a decent night. Last night was not a bad night at all. Definitely could have been better. Just looking through it, looking at the process, and I want to show you guys. I'm going to share this with you guys. Whenever it comes down to doing my DFS stuff, props, all that other stuff, I have notebooks. I have notebooks with my notes, with my stuff written all over the place that I do this stuff on. And when I went back and I looked at my stuff for last night, which of course this is the written list of what I actually post on site. And like I said, I'm working on trying to give you guys more detail and more stuff to actually provide, especially for the membership that I'm planning on doing over here on the YouTube, where maybe I can actually do like a full graph chart, giving more details in regards to why I like this play, things like that, so on and so forth. But last night I went through and I looked at the perfect lineup. I always do this every single night just to look back, look at my process, make sure I'm going in the right direction. So I looked at my process from last night, looked at all the plays. I had 7 out of the 8 players that was in the perfect lineup last night for DraftKings. 7 of them. Terry Rozier, Chet, Jalen Williams, Kendrick Nunn, Peyton Pritchard, Keontae George, and Neesmith. Mathurin, sorry, and Mathurin. Literally, I had all these down, and I'm pretty sure that every single one of these that I just listed, I also put them up there on site for plays for us to be able to look at, use in regards to the studs, the mid-tier, and the value plays. So if you guys are like writing stuff down, going through your process, re-looking at what you've done, make sure you guys doing that, because that's what's going to actually make you a better DFS player. And honestly, just seeing the fact that I'm on the right track, continuously have been on the right track and things like that, it keeps me going and whatnot. Like I said, the min cash, the just making it back to be able to play again the next day and stuff like that, building, bankroll management, all those things like that. It just keeps me going. It just keeps me going whenever it comes down to it in regards to just the betting market and in regards to playing DFS. So hopefully you guys, whenever you feel like you're in a slump or something like that, just go back and look at your process. Make sure you guys are refining and changing and adjusting to some of the stuff that's going on out there. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get this breakdown. 5 games, really not too much, I think, in regards to just going over everything. Hopefully should be some good games. Hopefully not too many blowouts, because we have been dealing with the National Blowout Association lately over the past couple of slates. I swear it was like after we had those good games where it was just a 2-game slate with Minnesota. Bro, the blowout last night for the Milwaukee Bucks, blowout, and I mean blowout. Now I will not change the process that I used yesterday. The only thing was that I tried to be slick Rick and look and was like, okay, you know what, if I take Pat Connaughton, that blew me out the water, man. I had Peyton Pritchard, I had Andre Jackson initially, and I was like, I want to get one more buck. I should just stuck with Beasley like initially I had planned, but I wanted to go a little bit cheaper just so I could bounce up my lineup just right. So that's another story. But the fact that game blew out, the Milwaukee Bucks got they asses roasted. It was at 1.30, they were losing by 30. It made no sense. None whatsoever. That was just piss poor. It was sad. I'm really tired of some of these blowouts, man. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying that these players, they're not playing up to the potential, things like that, but some nights it really leaves you to question, like, yo, are you even trying? Like, because I swear I missed that part of the script. I really truly missed that part of the damn script last night, man. Shit don't make no sense. Now, going into it, looking at it, of course, we got the Taco Tuesday going on over here on Prize Picks. If you guys got the link, or if you guys don't got an account, make sure you guys check the link down in the description below. Check the props and stuff that I post over on the Patreon. If you guys are looking for stuff to pair with your Karl Anthony Towns Taco, currently he is the Taco for right now, 17.5 going up against the Orlando Magic, who hopefully they can keep this game close. I know they are missing some key players, but they've been playing pretty well over their past several games. But Karl Anthony Towns, of course, as always, do like the over on his Taco line, and some plays and stuff that you could possibly pair it up with. One of them, if he actually is still on the board, I will do this early. Ooh, boy, I'm clicking in all sorts of stuff all over the place. Killian Hayes, if they have it up here still, Killian Hayes over a 0.5 3-point made, down right here. I can't scroll down any further, but 0.5 3 points made, or his rebounds and assists. It was sitting at 8. Excuse me, it was sitting at 8.5. They are without Cade Cunningham, so Killian Hayes and Jaden Ivey should be the backcourt that is going to be playing over here. And of course, that is going to mean some more time for my boy Alec Burke as well. But Killian Hayes, 0.5 3-point made. If you guys do know, Killian, he takes quite a bit of threes. And of course, with no Cade being out there, his minutes should go up. Should be seeing about 25 to 30 minutes out there on tonight. I definitely do like the upside for that prop right there to hit. And it's a 0.5. It should be pretty simple, pretty easy. We're going to be every single time he shoots the 3. So I'm definitely looking at taking that one right there. All right, getting into the injury report. Sacramento, nothing to report for them. Hopefully they can actually bounce back. They got their asses whooped the last time they was on the slate as well. Detroit Pistons, like I said, they are going to be without Cade for the next 7 to 10 days or 7 to 10 games. Not sure which one it was, but I know Cade, either way, he's out. Morris is out and Isaiah Stewart is out as well. Starting lineup should be Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Bogdanovich, Isaiah Livers, and Jalen Duren. Over here for the Minnesota Timber Pups, Clark is going to be out. Everyone else is good to go. They're back. Orlando, this is going to be a test for Orlando if they can keep this game close again. They rolled out a funky starting lineup last time out there. It was Jalen Suggs, Chuma Okeke, Caleb Houston, Paulo Banchero, Goga. I will touch a little bit more in regards to Chuma and Houston when I get over there to DraftKings, just because I got something interesting right there, and it's just a personal thought in regards to that right there. Portland taking on the New York Knickerbockers. Portland has been playing a bit better over the last couple games. They are still without DeAndre Ayton. I think it's Jabari Walker. Is it? Yeah, Jabari Walker, game time decision. Definitely want to know if he's going to be in or out. Daibo, he's off the bench. Not really too interested right there. Biggest thing to note over here is that Brogdon is back on the bench with Scoot, with Simon, and with Sharp all back. Brogdon's minutes are back down to like 20 less. So he's not really playing huge minutes again with all those players being back. New York Knickerbockers over here, nothing to really report for them. They're going to be rolling out their new starting lineup since they made the trade. Memphis Grizzlies, if you guys have been living on a rock and you guys have not gotten the news, they have lost Ja Morant for the season. He's having a season-ending shoulder surgery. Try to say that 5 times fast. Season-ending shoulder surgery. So we should be going right back to the lineup that we were seeing before Ja was back anyway when he was serving his suspension. In regards to Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson doing a game time decision. You know if he's going to be in or out. Bismack Biyombo. I do have some takes over here for them as well. And then Dallas, do expect Luka to play. I don't believe they're on the front end of a back-to-back or anything like that, so should be fine. But Luka and Kyrie, dynamic duo. They are playing. Dallas has surprised me with the way that they can actually play with these two guards. They have figured it out, and I shouldn't be too surprised considering that it's Kyrie. Kyrie was the one that we really needed to actually play to a certain level and mesh with Luka. And it shouldn't be a surprise because we've seen Kyrie mesh with another superstar before. We've seen it. Now Kyrie trying to be the leader, not so great, but we've seen Kyrie play with other superstars. We know Kyrie can do it. He can play that auxiliary role where he's not asked to do the heavy lifting, things like that. He can. And then even when it comes down to doing the heavy lifting, Kyrie's still that dude. He is healthy Kyrie. I'll take that any day. Toronto Raptors, same old for them with their new starting lineup, looking really good, looking really great. If you have already jumped onto the wagon of Scotty Barnes under his rebounds and assists, since they have acquired the other two players and Quickly and RJ Barrett, and Scotty's gone back to that small forward position, we've seen his ball handling duties go down quite a bit, and his rebounds and his assists have dropped tremendously. They keep putting him at that 14.5. He has not gone over it since they have made that trade. Definitely another spot to go ahead and take the under if you guys haven't already gotten it at that 14.5. Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, same old. They're going to play. All right, heading over to DraftKings, the site that I play the most on the site that if you guys don't have an account and you want one, check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on The King. All right, starting out with that Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Orlando Magic. Like I said, if this game can actually stay close, be competitive, which I think it should, it'll be interesting. Nonetheless, I do fully believe that this game right here, as long as it stays competitive, then this should be a decent game, especially for our studs that we have over here. Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. All these guys should be able to come out here and have a decent game. With Franz being down and out, I definitely do think that's going to lead to some more upside in the rebounds. I have some interest right now in Rudy Gobert for his rebounds. It was at 11.5. They bumped it to 12. I really do like the upside for that prop alone. Just period. You're not starting Wendell Carter Jr. He's still coming off the bench. Goga, he's more of a stretch big anyway. And Rudy, long as Rudy's going to Rudy, and we know his main thing is rebounding anyway. Definitely can see the upside taking his defensive rebounds if you do like that as well. But nonetheless, I do like Rudy Gobert's rebounds, period. But looking at it for this this side of it, I don't mind paying up for Anthony Edwards. He grades out as a pretty decent matchup going over there, and has played very well over his last 5 games. Been pretty consistent out there. And then Karl-Anthony Towns, that last game going up against Dallas, if he was not in foul trouble, Cat would have broke the slate. Telling you right now, he sat most of the second, most of the third, because he was in foul trouble. He picked up a lot of fouls very quickly in that game. But now if Cat is going to be able to be out there, go out there and just play, I got a lot of interest in Cat. And that's why I said also his taco right now. The dude, he's splashing from 3. He's getting to his shots. He's at least taking double-digit shot attempts in 4 out of his last 5 games. That game going up against the Lakers, they clamped him down in that game. Not even going to lie. But in matchups that he should be able to go out there dominate, and opposing power forwards have done work going up against Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic. Really do like the upside for Cat, especially at 7-7. That is a low price tag. Very low for Cat, a player that can go out here and give us a 40-plus fantasy point game when you have Anthony Edwards, who's dropping 40s, but he's sitting at 9K. Really do like the upside for Karl-Anthony Towns here in this spot. Outside of that, I'm not looking too much at too many other players over here. If anything, as always, it will be the Naz Reid and Kyle Anderson off the bench for this team if I take anything else over here. Other than that, I'm not going to dig too deep. I'm not going to force, and I'm not going to go too crazy in regards to these players over here. Going over to the other side for the Orlando Magic, with Franz being down, I will continue to look at Paolo Banchero as a really good play, just because, again, Franz is out. Paolo, he's been leading this team over those last couple of games, 69 and 64 fantasy points in those 2 games. He's having to do a lot of the scoring, rebounding as well. His rebounds have gone up, his assists, all those things. He's going to go out there, he's going to do it. Another one that if you want to take a stab at, don't mind taking a chance on Paolo's rebounding prop as well. That's another one you could possibly look at. And I will say, in these 2 games that he has missed without Franz being out there, he's gone over going up against Denver and going up against Atlanta in regards to his first half fantasy score, just because he's having to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So definitely don't mind looking at that one right there if you want to, or if you want to just go with the safer side with his PRA. But he does have block and steal upside, so that's something that you might want to take into consideration. Outside of Paolo, the other one that really does get a boost and has been playing pretty lights out, and he was doing this even before Franz went down, that's going to be Jalen Suggs. 38 and 30 fantasy points in those last 2 games without Franz being out there. Fouled out of his last game, picked up 6 ticky-tacky fouls. Hopefully he doesn't do the same thing here. I know he's a pretty good defender, as long as he doesn't get too many ticky-tacky fouls out there trying to guard a Anthony Edwards. It should be a decent game for Jalen Suggs to be able to go out there and do a little something. Just wouldn't hold my breath too heavy or too hard in regards to what he can go out there and do for me. Now coming out here to the latter plays, and Chuma Okeke and Caleb Houston, both these guys, they should be slid into the starting lineup again. Don't see any reason for them to be taken out. Only thing, Chuma Okeke, he let me down last game. He was one of my value plays, and to be honest, 38 minutes, went out there, dropped 14.75 fantasy points. And the one that went off was Caleb Houston at 4,700. He went out there, he dropped 39 fantasy points. I'll say swap him. This is what's gonna happen. Everyone's gonna chase going to the Caleb Houston. Not gonna look at Chuma Okeke. Chuma Okeke is gonna be the one that's gonna go out here. He's gonna have the big day and whatnot. Grades out. Both of these guys, they're decent spots. The fantasy points, the usage, all this stuff is gonna go up just because they are down players in the rotation. You still got players like Marco Fultz, who's on a minute limit, coming off the bench. For them, 15 minutes in the last game, only 10 fantasy points. Not too interesting right there. Cole Anthony, you can always mess with that, but 6'3", I'm not going to take my chances right there with him. I do have some interest in Wagner off the bench, just knowing that the dude's going to go out there. He's going to play 20-ish minutes and at least put up a fantasy point per minute when he's out there on the court. But these 2 right here, this is going to be your value players that you want to look at on the slate. I'm telling you, Chuma Okeke, just for the fact that he let down last time, and looking at what his ownership is, he's sitting at sub 2% ownership, and Caleb Houston sitting at 5%. So like I said, everyone, they're going to be remembering what happened last time, and they're going to want to go for the swap in regards to what these players are going to do. All right, next again, we got the Sacramento Kings taking on Detroit Pistons. To be honest, from this game, if Detroit can keep it close, looking at it right now, the total for this game is sitting at a 11-point spread, 240 total, one of the highest totals on the slate, actually the highest total on the slate, if Detroit can keep it close. Not saying that they can't. Definitely over the last couple of days, of course, with the stuff that we've seen in the NBA, I think they can actually keep it close. And if they do, definitely I do like the upside for Sabonis. Even though going up against Jalen Duren, we have seen opposing centers. They've had pretty decent games. And Sabonis has kind of been one consistent between him and Fox in regards to going out there and actually having a decent day. Now, I will say opposing point guards going up against Detroit, they have played fairly well going up against them. But Fox, he's kind of in my shit basket right now just because of the way that he's been playing over the last couple games. I want to see him actually have a good game, but I don't mind him for GPPs 110%. Definitely do, but I do prefer some bonus right now. Now, I did just get a report saying that Kevin Huerter was seen wearing a starter's jersey in practice today. So that would put me to believe that Kevin is going to be back into the starting lineup. And I do like him as a buy low and also a really great value play sitting at 4-4. If he's going to start and you're going to tell me he's going to play 20 plus minutes, going to the bench, getting back into the starting lineup, might have got his rhythm back, goes out there going up against a soft matchup against the Detroit Pistons, who I touted, and I did talk up KCP as one of those plays that I wanted from the last time that these guys were on the slate when the Pistons played going up against Denver. Out of everybody on that team, I wanted KCP. Opposing shooting guards have done very well going up against Detroit. Nonetheless, without Cade, you got Ivy defense and you have Killian Hayes defense over there. Not going to say that they're not bad defenders, but still, opposing twos have done very well going up against the Kings. And I'll go right back to an opposing two that should be playing at that spot. That's going to be Kevin Huerter. Do like that 4,400. And if he's going to start, maybe we can get him low under the radar or whatnot, depending on how early or how soon they release this news for them. Now, going over to the Detroit side, they're without Cade Cunningham. So we already know it's going to be a bump in uses for players like Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes, Alex Burke, Bogdanovich. And I'm going to tell you right now, after looking at some things, I have a pretty nice game stack that I do like, that I think it's going to be good, especially considering the fact that a lot of these the Detroit guys, they're priced down. They're not priced up as if Cade is going to be missing. So we can get a Bogdanovich who we know is going to have to jack up quite a bit of shots in order to go up there and try to do a little something to keep them in this game. He's a pretty good shooter, decent value that we're going to be getting right there. We're going to get Killian Hayes, who's going to be starting. He's at 4-5. Opposing point guards have done very well going up against the Kings over the last several games. We have CJ McCollum dropped 50. Quickly dropped 38. Suggs dropped 42. Terry Rozier dropped 53. Trae Young dropped 48. Anthony Simons dropped 42. And Mike Conley, low usage Mike Conley, dropped 38. If you can tell me Killian Hayes at 4,500 can go out here and get me 30 to 35 fantasy points for 4,500, I will take that all damn day. And just to run it back on the other side, I'm giving this to you guys right here. I'll go ahead and I'll take my Sabonis, and where you at, Huerter? And I will go ahead and I'll take my Kevin Huerter. 4 pieces from this game right here. Highest total on the slate. If this game can stay close, that right there, love it. That's beautiful. 6,100 left over. Maybe get you one more value play in here, and then you can honestly go ahead and just put another stud in. Maybe go back to that first game, get Karl-Anthony Towns at that 7-7. That's not too bad right there. That's going to put you about, what, 5K-ish in regards to your last 3 spots. There's decent value in some of these other games that we can get to shove in here and really finish building out this build right here. I know I just kind of went off script in regards to looking at it, but when something comes together like that, man, really, I like to, God, that looks freaking amazing. I like this line. I like the line is coming together in my head already. I like what I just built right there. Hopefully you guys got that. Hopefully you guys run that as one of your lineups tonight. But I really do like that core right there. Getting about 4 pieces from that game. Highest total on the slate. Man, that's some fantasy goodness right there. That might be it. All right, going over to Portland, taking on New York Knickerbockers. Now, when I say like there's plenty of value on the slate, I'm not lying when I said there's plenty of value. Now you're coming over here to Portland, where you're going to get a 7-7 Anthony Simons. The main thing, looking at New York, we always like, oh, they're a pretty good defensive team, so on and so forth. They can still be had. They still give up some pretty decent fantasy point production to opposing spots. Like opposing point guards, or sorry, correction, opposing twos, depending on what spot Anthony Simons is going to actually go out here and play, if he's going to be the point or if he's going to be the 2. But I would imagine with Scoot being out there starting and playing the 1, they're going to have Simons being the 2. But opposing twos going up against them over the last couple games, you got Kelly Oubre dropped 31, Alex Caruso 33, Ant dropped 47, Nembhard dropped 30, Suggs dropped another 34 out here. So we know they could be had at either one of these guard positions. And of course, trading away RJ Barrett, I'm not going to say he was the greatest defender in the world, but Dante DiVincenzo defense, no. OG Anunoby now, granted, yeah, but I think they might have OG out there trying to defend. Who's y'all's 3 over here for Portland? I'm trying to remember who that is. You got Scoot, you got Sharp, Reese, Grant. Let's see, Portland. Kamara. I'm not really too big on Kamara. Anyway, looking back at it, also Scoot Henderson. Scoot's in at 6'4", starting point guard. I like the upside for him as well here. If Portland can keep this close, which like I've said, they've done pretty good over the last couple games. Their last game went to OT against Brooklyn, 134 to 127, and they won. They played very good towards the end of that game. Looked amazing out there. Scoot and Simons both carried that team very well in that game. I really do like the upside that we can get for either one of these guys here. And then outside of that, if Reith is still going to be starting, and if where is he at? If Jabari Walker misses again, he's questionable right now. If he misses, their rotation at the center and the forward position is very, very thin. Baji, I don't even think he played 9 minutes in that last game. Baji, he's not really going to be in the rotation like that. Reith is going to play a lot of those minutes at that center position and possibly some more at the power forward. Now, Chris Murray, he's Keegan Murray's little brother, or twin brother, actually, I'm sorry. So he'll log a couple of minutes, but Kamara, he's going to get a lot of those minutes right there at the small forward, power forward position. Then, of course, you got Jeremy Grant, who you can also take as well as another possible play in this spot. But definitely 110% Reith if we get word that DeAndre Ayton, which of course he's currently doubtful to play today, with Ayton being doubtful to play, and if Jabari Walker is going to be doubtful to play as well, then I'm going to have some interest in Reith as well as another value play at 5'5". We were just talking about it. You had 6'1" left over. Now you got a 5'5" center that you can go ahead and slide right into this lineup. It's just making it, it's coming together. It's coming together even more and more. Now going over here to New York. Now I know I just talked junk about him, but Dante DiVincenzo, 5'4", do like the upside matchup. Long as he's going to go out there and can actually knock down the shots and do what he does, and he can also give me a couple of steals and things like that. Do like the upside for what he could possibly bring here in this matchup. Not bad for him at all. Opposing twos have actually done pretty well going up against Portland. Really a long list of really great game logs for the last opposing twos that have played going up against them. As long as he gets his minutes and he's actually able to knock down the shots and doesn't lose his time to Hart or Grimes, it'll be a good spot for him. Outside of that, I really do like the upside for Hartenstein. Opposing centers with, of course, just the opposing bodies that they don't have to throw at the center position with Ayton, with Jabari Walker, and with all these other guys being out. Opposing centers have done very well. And Hartenstein, surprisingly, has played very good over his last several games. Matter of fact, what is the dude's fantasy score sitting at? Because he's been money. Honestly, taking that 36 fantasy score, he's gone over it over his last 4. That might be something that I might look at as a possible prop play right there. The matchup is plus money for him in this position spot. And if you're telling me that the dude's been active on the defensive and blocks and steal, getting the rebounds, doesn't have to be necessarily a scoring threat to honestly just get there. And the way that Portland drives quite a bit, they do take some outside shots, but they do drive a lot. I could see the block upside still being there for Hartenstein here in the spot. That might be a smash. That might be a smash, man. I do like the upside for Hartenstein right there. I might just talk myself into another play for props, and I thought I was going to be done for the day. But Hartenstein, do like the upside for him here. Randall, Jalen Brunson, don't hate either one of these guys. Of course, with the game, thinking it's going to be close, you could definitely mess with Julius Randle. You could definitely mess with Jalen Brunson. Brunson, he's been on a roll over his last 5 games, so don't hate, don't mind either one of them. But at 9-1, I would much rather just come over here and get Anthony Edwards that's sitting at 9K, or just pay down for my Karl-Anthony Towns when I'm just comparing in regards to what I can get for these players in other positions that are in games that look like they could be closer for sure. All right, Memphis taking on Dallas. Like I said, we got Memphis without Ja Morant. Now we got to figure out how we're going to attack this. On the Memphis side, biggest thing we got to know if Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be in or out. If he is out, that's going to boost some other spots and players. Like maybe we can get at the power forward position. We might see Zaire get a bit more run. I already have interest in Zaire just because without Ja being out there and some of the other players being shifted into the starting lineup, it's going to open up some minutes for Zaire anyway, but should probably see some decent minutes for Roddy. I would imagine Roddy's going to have to play, especially if they are going to be without Santi Aldama. If JJJ is out and Aldama's in, then Aldama should get the start at the power forward position, and he's not going to be a bad play at all if that's going to be the case. With Ja being out, Marcus Smart's going to be the de facto point guard. Don't hate Marcus Smart at all. He can go out there. He's very capable. He used to play the point guard for Boston. He knows what he's doing out there at the position. He can play make a little bit, plays very good on the defensive side, and he can actually score. So I don't mind coming out here paying 6'3" for Marcus Smart. That's not bad at all for that. I do think there is some upside in another value player. Luke Kennard, he should get the start at the 2 or they can start him at the 3, either or one of those two positions. Do like the upside for him. I think he should see about 30 minutes here in the spot. Definitely could put up a really decent fantasy point number if he's going to actually get the burn and run. And then someone off the bench is going to be my boy Vince Williams Jr. This dude, baller. You give him the minutes, you let him play, he goes out there, he produces, and he does very well in that time frame and in those minutes. So I really do like another value play at 4-3. Pretty much you kind of got your choices between Luke Kennard and Vince Williams. Of course, I think most people gravitate more towards the starter versus who's coming off the bench. So either one of those guys. If you want to mess with Xavier Tillman, Bismack Biyombo, depending on who starts, doesn't really matter too much. But either one of those guys, they're going to split the minutes and time there. So I don't hate or mind either one of those guys. And then if you want to pay up for Desmond Bane, he's not a must. I really am kind of like indifferent on Desmond Bane. I'm not too interested in him for the day, but definitely can see merit in playing him. Now we're here for Dallas. If Luka is out, magically, if Luka just says, I don't want to play. If Luka's going to be out, then of course we're going to want to jam in Kyrie Irving. He's going to be very good play that we can actually go to. Derrick Jones Jr., Jalen Green, Hardy, all those guys get a bump with Luka out. Now, of course, expecting Luka to play. Everyone else, they're kind of mid-tier, indifferent, not mandatory big plays. But if you want to get different, which I think Luka might go low owned on today's slate, Luka's going to play. He's in there. I know he has a pretty safe floor of at least 50 fantasy points, and he's going to go out there and do it pretty much night in, night out. So I don't mind just taking a Luka Doncic period at face value, maybe getting him at low ownership. Memphis keeps us close somehow, some way, and Luka goes out there and drops his typical 70 bomb on us on the night, and boom, you kind of got him at what, sub 10% ownership. Matter of fact, looking at ownership, I'm pulling it up real quick. Luka, he's looking at 13% ownership right now. That's pretty good numbers right there to get a low-owned Luka Doncic on the slate in a spot where he possibly could blow up, long as Memphis keeps it close. And looking at it right now, it's the 8-point spread, so the spread's not too deep. It's not too bad. If this was a double-digit spread, then I would worry more about Luka not being able to keep it close. But with it being an 8-point spread, I like the upside for Luka to get those minutes and possibly to go out there and smash at low ownership. That might be the play. We've already talked about the value, talked about the stacks and everything. I'm smiling just because, like I said, the wheels are turning, the gears are turning, and the lineup is kind of coming together on its own. Late Night Hammer, last game on the slate. If you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content I'm putting out. Hopefully, I didn't ramble too much in this breakdown. Hopefully, you guys were able to get something. I just feel I feel like the lines are just coming together for me in regards to what I want to do and put together. And as I look at this last game, and hopefully this isn't a bad thing, but it's just like there is legit so much good value on today's slate. That the value tier when I post it is going to be full, and I'm going to literally try to weed out and only get the best value to go into that. I'm telling you guys, there's so many below 5K plays on today's slate. We just have to find the right one that is in the right spots, and we are going to be able to smash on today's slate. I swear, pricing is so messed up on today's slate, honestly, as I just looked through it. It is crazy. And literally, one of them sticking out, Chris Bouchard. You still don't have Jakopoto, but you have this dude sitting at 4-5. 4-5, and he's going to start. Yes, he's going up against Anthony Davis. Yes, he can get himself into foul trouble. But the man in 16 minutes went out here and dropped 35.25 fantasy points. Are you kidding me? We know Chris Bouchard is a great fantasy point per minute player. Long as the kid can keep his hands to himself, he's bomb. Besides that, you're going to get Pascal Siakam having to slide at the center position, which is totally fine. Going up against Anthony Davis, who is technically a power forward himself as well. I don't mind, don't hate that. We might see some minutes for Jonte Porter. Don't even know who the heck this kid is, but if you want to mess with that, you definitely can. Outside of that, I really do like Scotty. I do like Quick, and I do like RJ Barrett. All these guys, the Lakers, they don't have the best defense in the world. I'm not scared of the Lakers at all defensive wise. So all these guys, they do great out as really great players. But if you want to mess with Chris Bouchard, as long as he can keep himself out of foul trouble and they actually let him play and let him get his run, really great play. Don't mind, don't hate it at all. Do like the upside for him here on the slate, period. And then going over to the Lakers side, on the Lakers, Anthony Davis would be my favorite play and my favorite late night hammer. If I was to take something from this game, it would be Anthony Davis. Just the upside, the Lakers wanting to win, the aggression that he can play with, and that I know that he should be able to come out here and play with going up against the Toronto Raptors. He should be able to have his way down there. Field day, rebounds, the putbacks, the blocks, all that should be there for him. LeBron James, you can mess with that if you want to. I'm really not too heavy on LeBron. Austin Reeves, now that they actually have him starting at the point guard position, bounce back game for him here to come out here against the Raptors and actually put up a decent number. Since they got quickly starting at the point guard position, opposing point guards have done pretty decent going up against his defense. So don't mind the upside for Austin Reeves at all right here in the spot. So definitely another week you can mess with. Everyone else, not going to mess, not going to touch there. Really already just touched on my favorite plays. Hopefully you guys got something. Hopefully I gave you guys some really good information. I'm sorry if I rambled. Definitely let me know down in the comment section. I'll try to tone that down a little bit in the next video. If you guys are looking for my content, my player pool, my core, my props, all that stuff, check the link down in the description for the Patreon. It is posted and will be up on site. Player pool and core will come out closer to lock. Props, they're up for the day. Hopefully you guys do cash out. With that being said, it's your boy Zoe. Peace.